The year is 2024. The streets of Nairobi are burning with youthful energy. Kenya's Gen Z has risen, demanding their voices be heard, demanding justice, and standing firm against the controversial Finance Bill of 2024. At the heart of this storm, a figure emerges, both unexpected and unforgettable. Kasmuel McOure. He is not dressed in torn jeans or hoodies like many of his peers. Instead, he wears a sharp three-piece suit, his calm face masking the turmoil within him. Around him, chants grow louder, placards rise higher, and the police close in. Yet, he stands resolute on the front line. His words slice through the chaos, and for a moment, he becomes the face of a generation. But before the headlines, before the bright studio lights and the live TV debates, Kasmuel's story began in hardships. Kasmuel McOure was born on October 29, 1997. Like many Kenyan children, he grew up with dreams bigger than his surroundings and burdens far heavier than his young shoulders could carry. Raised in modest circumstances, he was no stranger to pain. His childhood was marked by emotional turbulence, including encounters with bullying, feelings of isolation, and painful episodes of trauma that left scars invisible to the eye.
Let's take a detour to when I was 11. I was sexually assaulted, and I faced months of bullying on me. But one particularly stood out. It's when, after class, I went to the urinal to ease myself, and they walked in. It was a clogged urinal in a church, and they told me that if I did not drink from that urinal, they would beat me up.
At Alliance High School, one of Kenya's most prestigious institutions, Kasmuel endured intense bullying and rejection. These experiences cut deep, forcing him to transfer to Maranda High School. Yet, this setback became a turning point. At Maranda, he found strength and focus, completing his secondary education with determination. Life had tested him early, but he refused to break.
It's a bit hot in here and the fans are trying their best, but this motion is siding with the sun, I propose. To my opponents, here you have come and given us a 5-cent argument on a $10 motion that a cashless economy is most definitely the best stimulus to economic growth. I mean, you come here and tell me that cash payment is the only mode of payment that is legalized as tender?
His resilience paved way to the Technical University of Kenya, where he pursued a Bachelor of Commerce in Finance and Financial Management. By 2020, he graduated with honors, ready to pave a path forward. But the story of Kasmuel will never be confined to numbers alone. Beyond the world of finance, another passion burned inside him, and that is music. From as early as 2016, Kasmuel poured his heart into nurturing talent. He taught piano and saxophone, guiding young artists through initiatives like Maskani Big Band and Kaskazini Muziki. For him, music was more than a career. He considered it therapy, a language, and a place where he could express emotions that were too heavy for words. Each note on the saxophone, each chord on the piano, told the story of a boy finding healing in harmony. Yet behind the suit, behind the smile, and behind the instruments, Kasmuel was fighting a storm of his own. The storm was basically made of depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. He would later reveal in interviews that these struggles almost consumed him. In 2023, a near-fatal car accident forced him to confront his health head-on. Doctors diagnosed him with bipolar disorder and ADHD. For many people, such news would have been devastating. But for Kasmuel, it was clarity. Instead of hiding, he chose to speak openly. His honesty about mental health struck a chord with thousands of young Kenyans who who were silently battling the same demons. Through his story, he reminded them that it's okay not to be okay.
In October, I had 0 bob to my name. It was so crazy. And then I got into a nasty road accident with a friend that I cared for. And that was just absolutely bonkers. But I survived. And I remember wondering, why didn't I die in that accident? And it was at a point when I was really, really struggling with suicidal thoughts, and the drugs that I was on were not even helping the situation. I remember September I tried 3 times. October I had that crash. And I was wondering, what's the point of life?
June 2024, the finance bill protest erupts across Kenya. Crowds flood the streets, chanting, singing, and confronting riot police. And there on the front line stands Kasmuel, not with fist clenched in anger, but with careful chosen words. His English is polished, his delivery fearless. We are not criminals, we are citizens, and we are tired, he declares.
The finances down! Down! Down with corruption down! Down! Down with the spirit of your presence down! Reverend power!
Clips of his speeches spreads like wildfire across social media. TV stations invite him to primetime interviews. His poise and intellect earn admiration from thousands. In a leaderless movement, he becomes, whether he likes it or not, a symbol of leadership.
Scent of the day. My scent of the day is sponsored by the Kenyan government. And yes. I'm grateful that my style coordinator is the executive arm of government. The police, they have graciously donated a tab of my favorites, but it's not as potent. It's not as potent as it used to be. So we're just petitioning in kindness that they give us more.
But every symbol carries a price. One day, Kasmuel vanishes. Reports surface that he has been abducted by state security forces. Outrage erupts. Alumni Association issue statements demanding his release. Protesters chant his name in the streets. Hours later, he reappears, visibly shaken but unbothered. The message is clear. Even in silence, his presence had grown too powerful to ignore. But admiration can be fleeting. In October of 2024, during a public participation forum, fellow activist Morara Kebaso was brutally attacked. Kasmuel spoke afterwards but did not condemn the assault, instead focusing on other political issues. That silence cost him. Social media lit up with criticism. For many, it was the first crack in his armor.
Those papers, can we secure the papers? Wewe huwezi kuja kuharibu mkutano ya public participation. Everyone has an opinion.
Weeks later, during the anti-femicide march in Nairobi CBD, the hostility reached its peak. Protesters booed him, jeered at him, and chased him away. Shouts of "Rudi home" filled the air. The same people who once cheered him as their champion now rejected him as an outsider. And then came the images that ignited even deeper anger. Kasmuel photographed shaking hands with President Ruto, another shot with Raila Odinga. For some, it was strategy. For others, it was betrayal. By November of 2024, rumors became reality. Kasmuel officially joined the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM. He promised to rebuild youth and student engagement within the party. But to many young Kenyans, this was the ultimate sellout.
This is the party. Actually, every Kenyan is an ODM member just by virtue. That's why we will go on a vigorous mass registration of the young people to bring them in the party of the present and of the future.
His social media following collapsed. Once hailed the people's champion, he was now branded a traitor. By mid-2025, Kasmuel's path took him far from the Nairobi streets. He was selected for the Mandela Washington Fellowship in the United States. From abroad, he still sent messages of solidarity, urging the youth to stay united, to honor the memory of those who lost their lives, and to keep pushing for liberation. And he has bigger ambitions. His eyes are now set on Kenya's 2027 general elections. No longer just a critic, he wants to be an active participant in shaping policy, in making laws, and in leading from within.
Same way I left my house last year under no one's instructions. As a young man who was just known as a musician and went to the streets and did all these strides. It's the same way I'll start small and then I'll meet 2 people and then we will galvanize that and then we'll form a critical mass.
Today, Kasmuel straddles many identities including musician, educator, activist, mental health advocate, and political aspirant. So who is Kasmuel McOure? Is he a hero, a traitor, a strategist, or simply a man learning in real time the heavy cost of change? To his supporters, he is proof that youth can rise from the streets to the negotiating table. To his critics, he is a warning of how power seduces and corrupts. But whether loved or hated, one truth remains. Kasmuel McOure is a mirror of his generation. A generation caught between shouting from the outside or stepping inside to change the system from within. His story is unfinished, and perhaps so is the story of Kenya's Gen Z. History will decide how to remember him. But for now, Kasmuel stands as a symbol of hope, of controversy, and of complicated cost of change. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.